So in my video about meditation leading to my awakening, I spoke about chakras and how I started, or how I was introduced to chakra meditations and then into breath work. I want to talk a little bit more about each of the chakras in this video. So the thing that drew me to the chakra meditations was that I was bringing my attention to all these different parts of myself and working on healing them. At that time, I didn't really care to dive into understanding or even really believe in the energy centers in different places in our bodies and how that balanced us, etc. For me, it was just more about bringing my attention to these different sides of myself, and with the chakra, it covered most of everything, I guess. So the root chakra, the color red, is at the base of your spine, and basically it is about grounding and feeling safe and secure in yourself, in your space, in your world. So anybody who kind of gets really anxious, which I did get, I experienced a lot of in fact, for over the past 3 years until train. Anyway, yeah, the anxiety over the past couple years, the root chakra, or the grounding, more the grounding was really helpful in trying to deal with that side of myself. I remember after one of my relationships ended a couple of years back, about 3 years back, I felt as though the ground was kind of ripped out from underneath me, and I'd just been floating around, kind of not knowing which way is up and which way is down, moving through life with no direction. And I guess that, or bringing my attention to grounding myself after all that time, I eventually became aware of the fact that it was after the relationship ending that I started feeling less grounded. But it really took me kind of coming into this consciousness, or focusing my attention particularly on grounding, that helped to kind of heal that part of me. The next is the Sacral Chakra, which is between your navel and or just below your navel, let's say, and that one is associated with the color orange. And for your sacral chakra, that brings your attention to your sexuality, your creativity. It's funny because I noticed that after I started doing these chakra meditations, I just naturally became more creative. I just wanted to be more. As the healing process moved on, I started dancing again, and it had been years since then. And started painting, something I never did before, drawing. I just doing puzzles even. It's been a very interesting thing to see how these sides of myself have started unfolding as the healing process moved on. Anyway, moving up to the solar plexus is above your navel. That one is associated with the color yellow, and that one brings your attention to your personal power and well-being and energy. I guess with the color yellow, you can expect energy to be in there. Moving up to the heart chakra, right in your chest, the middle of your chest. That one is linked with the color green, a lighter green. And that one was, the most difficult the most difficult for me to kind of... Another train. A lucky day. Anyway, the heart chakra was the most difficult one for me to heal or to focus on, or even just to spend time trying to heal. It took me a couple of days before I felt ready to actually face that side of myself. That one's associated with unconditional love and compassion, not listening. That one starts to link you to something greater than yourself. So your root chakra, sacral, and solar plexus are more about you and your environment. And then when you move into the heart, you start moving into something greater than yourself. Anyway, going up to the throat chakra. This one is the most interesting for me because here I am making a video about my experiences. And this is something I never would have done before. I would talk to my friends about it, or whoever was interested in kind of listening to the journey, because it's a very interesting journey for me. And I think there's some interesting stories that even if I were listening to somebody else's journey, it would be like, geez, you know, for somebody like myself who'd never been exposed to any of this, it would just be very interesting to hear somebody else going through this process. But anyway, the throat chakra is linked to speaking your truth and also listening and just communication in general. That is the color blue, a lighter blue. And yeah, like I said, yeah, I am making a video for YouTube about my experiences, and that likely would not have happened if I hadn't kind of become more comfortable with myself, become more comfortable with my story and with sharing my story, and also being okay with the fact that nobody else's story is going to be like my story, and so there will be things that maybe they don't agree with or maybe doesn't resonate with them. And I'm okay with that, because in the past it was very much a fear of being judged and not wanting to speak your truth because you might let the people around you down or disappoint the people around you or just sound idiotic. Or now that doesn't bother me nearly as much as the past 30 years. Anyway, moving up to the third eye chakra. The third eye is about, or associated with the color, I forget what color the word they use for it, what color it is exactly, but it's a darker blue. And that one is associated with intuition and oh boy, I don't recall well what that one is associated with. Intuition mostly. Whenever I do a third eye chakra meditation, it's usually because I'm trying to kind of open myself up to experiencing life beyond my ego. So that's the best way that I can explain it. So of course not just intuition, but just creating a passageway almost for your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. Throat chakra is in your throat, third eye, and crown at the top of your head. So the crown chakra is now, some link it with the color white and some with indigo. But that one is about connecting with your higher self, connecting with the universe, and just everything that is within you and is greater than you could ever imagine you are. And I say this because of the experiences I have. Anybody talking about this to me, particularly third eye and crown, I would not have been able to kind of understand. I might have even been very, not judgmental, but just very skeptical of, how they'd be experiencing life and what reality, or what seemed to be reality for them. But that's also because we've been raised the way we've been raised. We've been taught what we've been taught. Our egos are there in the forefront. Our minds acting on behalf of on behalf of our egos, really, trying to protect us from whatever situations, whether they're dangerous, whether they're harmful or not. Most times they're not. Most times we create that fear and that harm, or the idea of that harm, but doesn't really exist. Fear isn't real. Fear it's made up. It's in your mind. We know this, but somehow learning to let go of the ego is a lot more difficult. I won't start talking about my ego again. I mean, it has been the one thing that has paved the way to me feeling more balanced as a person, to me feeling more like I can just relax into life and allow life's flow to happen around me and stop going against the grain, stop resisting everything. Man, that's why we struggle so much. We resist everything that comes up. Change, any kind of change that comes up, it's just so uncomfortable because we want things to remain the way we imagined them to be. Anyway, the chakra meditations help to kind of move my ego separation to the next level, and then I went on to breath work, which really propelled me into that spiritual journey. Anyway, I hope you like this video. You're welcome to comment on any of my videos, and it'll be interesting to kind of hear what any of you have to say, or your experiences with any of this, and whether any of it resonates with you or has even kind of sparked an interest or a possibility in your life to kind of learn about yourself or learn about the people around you, or whatever, some kind of growth. Anyway, have a good one. See you on the next one.